Hello, everyone, and welcome to another First Impression episode. I am Neo Tanner, and I'm here to bring you the game Deadstone. It is right now currently on Desura, and as of this video, it is currently trying to get Steam greenlit. This is not an actual alpha for once. It's actually a fully developed game that does have a variation. It has a survival mode that's in beta currently. I might not actually look at that because this has a campaign and I want to show off the campaign. It is up to 2 players for, I think, local co-op or it's online. I'm not quite sure. I don't have a second person to play with, so this is the beta survival. Might get into it towards the end of the video, but let's go with the campaign. Let's do new. Starting a new game will overwrite your existing save game. Proceed? Yes.
Around this time in life,
Okay.
most people have a family, a place to call home, maybe even something resembling a purpose. I had a Eurocorp Hellhound assault rifle, a hangover, 6 hours left on my shift, and a price on my head, back on Earth. The Icarus. The station was a wolf in sheep's clothing, drifting
Some decent
in
voice
a
acting, in my
grazing
opinion.
orbit outside the jurisdiction of Mars and home. They said it was a staging area, an important link in the supply chain between Earth and the fledgling colonies. Even the janitor knew there was more to it than that.
I'm Irish, apparently.
Rumor was that Blackgate Systems, the station's key shareholder, my employer, was pursuing a blacklisted branch of genetic research, attempting to sculpt the human form to whim. Icarus spreads its wings once more. The nuclear bomb, Zyklon B, the Chimera virus. Mankind has a long and industrious history of creating monsters. Only difference was, this time, the achievement had been more literal.
So, this is... I'm gonna assume zombies.
Everything that happened that day happened too fast. The battle for the Icarus was over before we even understood the rules of engagement. Friendship only takes you so far in the business I'm in, but we lost a lot of good people up there. 2 days in the darkness of a storage lockup, eating rations that tasted like spacesuit, pissing in a can, the grotesque nocturne of snarls, the wet snap of fingernails against the walls, the blast and rumble of ships carrying the lucky ones away from the station. Maybe they forgot about me. Maybe they moved on in search of easier prey. It doesn't matter. When the break came, I took it. The howl of dissent was as terrible as the sound of heaven mustering for war. A memory which only death will steal away. Then, impact and pain. Splashes of blood on my visor. The stumbling escape from the fires onto the frigid Martian plains. After that, numbness.
This is a pretty long cutscene for no animation.
An oblivious dream march through endless red-brown dirt. More indicators on my suit's display blinking red. I kept putting one foot in front of the other and prayed to any cosmic entity that might happen to be listening that I'd make it there before my air ran dry. Wasn't counting on a welcoming party, but there he was, standing there like Peter at the gates, waving the business end of a gun in my face. He looked scared, like he'd be more at home with a clipboard than a cult. Deadstone. The name rings a suggestion of an end rather than a beginning. Tells you something about the dispossession of the colony's original stock, what they thought of the way they'd be spending the rest of their lives. Surrounded by a frozen desert on one of the most dangerous frontiers man had ever dared set foot on. spent on GovTerra's mobile extractors in the endless hunt for new drill sites. Maybe they thought
This is a
gallows
lot of
humor would
exposition.
protect them from the worst that life on this cold, hostile planet could throw at them. If so, they'd got it all wrong.
Okay. That was a lot. That was a lot of exposition there. There are three things you could do. You can either see side A, which is Deadstone's campaign storyline, side B, or you could say a farcical or whatever take on the storyline, which I guess is this is the real story. This is a fake story that they decided to do, and or you could just survive if you just want to shoot everything. I would go with side A, but that's one of the first problems I'm noticing here. You focus. I love the fact that you focus so much on story, but you really, if you're gonna do that, you really need to have some sort of animatic thing that's happening, not just one picture and a voiceover. The voice acting was good. It's just, I don't know. Iron Man, you're allowed to restart after failing a patrol objective or dying. Yeah, let's turn that on. Tutorials are enabled. Let's just do that. Day 0, 1446, Mars time. Yeah, this is pretty much a survival game on Mars. Alright, John Kelvin. The man standing before you is clearly shaken. His hand trembles under the burden of nerves and the weight of the gun. Now isn't a good time for sudden movement. Not another step. Prove you're not one of them or I'll put a hole in you. The thing is that there's also a very jaunting transition from having a fully voiced over intro cinematic. I wouldn't call it a cinematic, even though I just did. This to where I have to read this now. I have to read it. There's no voiceovers anymore. That's a bit of a bad design choice, but it's not something that makes the game bad. Easy, lower the gun. I can't do an Irish accent, so, or whatever that was. Whatever one of them is, I'm not it. One of them. The realization hits you with the force of a frightened train riding a lightning bolt. The nightmare isn't over. An unseen hand tightens around your throat. No, not here. You're not going to like this. And then here you select your difficulty here. Doesn't involve kittens. Take it easy on me. I can take it. I'm used to bad news and I am death, destroyer of worlds. Which I always do a game, even in my first try. On normal. I'll only do hard or very hard if I've beaten the game or I'm very familiar with the game mechanics. But hold on real quick. Okie dokie. Very tough enemies, 9 colonists, not recommended. This one is tough enemies, 10 colonists, recommended for the seasoned gamer with prior experience of Deadstone. Normal enemies, 11 colonists, recommended for the seasoned gamer with no prior experience of Deadstone. This is occasional, and this is if you've never played a game before. Does it involve kittens? But let's go. I already have normal selected. Let's hit accept. The first visitor arrived yesterday. Mars isn't the sort of place you just go for a leisurely stroll. And they looked beat up, so Hal Dutton, our sheriff, suited up to bring them in. Dutton, whatever, hadn't had his head on straight and missed the detail for what has saved his life. This visitor wasn't wearing a suit, or at least not an intact one. We laid hands on the heaviest things we could find, tools, metal pipes, and rushed out. Dutton was down. Quiescent? I think that's quiescent. As a fallen statue. Our visitor had lost interest in time, but it was pretty interested in us. We, dealt with it. Then Dutton got up, torn suit and all, started screaming and attacked us. The man tries to suppress a shudder as his voice loses his resolve, fading to a whisper. Then we dealt with Dutton too. A few hours later, there was another, then another. 12 other colonies had reported attacks. Earlier today, it broke out in Mars 1. So they recalled the marshals that were dispatched to help. That were dispatched to help back to the Back to the capital. These infected are highly resistant to damage, tenaciously homicidal. You don't need to tell me what they're like. I've seen their work. You've encountered them? Where? You raise your hand and point a finger to the sky. Up there. The Icarus. His head snaps towards you. Even in a state of obvious exhaustion, his mind is quick. The information doesn't rust any easier with him than it does with you. How the hell did they get down here? Same way I got down, I guess. But that wouldn't account for the numbers you're encountering. Company. Damn it, they just keep coming. The dread of being out there with these things is palpable in his voice. He's no fighter, as you suspect he might be as much of a liability as anything else. I'll take care of this. You've seen enough fighting for one day. And before you bother, there's no need for a reluctant offer to help. I like working alone. Thanks. Your name's Kelvin, John Kelvin. I never caught yours. Well, John Kelvin, my name's... By default, it's Lieutenant Blake, which I am just gonna... Oh. I can't change the word Blake? Neo Blake? Lieutenant was a first name? Okay. I am Neo Blake. Welcome to Deadstone. Your objective is to stay alive and protect the colony from the infected. To move around, use the following keys. Forwards, sprint is the left shift, rotate is mouse. You can't use the keyboard. Yeah, you can't use the controller, but I actually found out that I could not get my controller to work for some reason. We are continuing. The mini-map is on the right side. Like, this is definitely an independent game. It's not fancy or anything. It's a top-down shooter. Like, it does give the impression that this might be a 3D model, but when you do have, like, a bit of a close look at it, it's obviously a 2D sprite, but it still looks pretty detailed. More detailed than most that I've seen of this type of genre. Character's vitals are located in the top left corner. The red bar displays your health, the green bar displays your stamina, which is consumed by sprinting. The X bar in the center displays your current XP, which I have none. And that's my gun in the bottom left. You don't really need to tell me that, because it tells me where my weapons are. I can carry up to 4, for one from each class: pistol, shotgun, automatic, and a precision. Shoot by left mouse button and reload using R, standard mechanics of a PC game. Here's a training dummy to practice on. It's not really a training dummy. It's infected.
I'm reloaded.
Colonists are the lifeblood of the war effort against the infected. Each colonist pays you for keeping them safe after each patrol. Number of colonists is displayed bottom left, above your current weapon stuff. Each time the infected get past you, colonist dies. If all the colonists die, the game ends. You have opted to play in Iron Man mode. The game will also end if you are killed or fail a patrol objective. Here's a reward for eliminating the infected and completing patrols. I know you could turn Iron Man on and just allow you to restart. By default, it is off. Okay. But I kind of... It makes me think this is considered a roguelike then. Well, an optional roguelike.
I'm reloaded.
Again, why is this part... Why is this voiced over, like, with the whole I'm reloaded part? But the cutscene with the two guys wasn't even voiced over. That's my nitpicking there. Again, it doesn't make this a bad game. In fact, it's actually much more enjoyable than some of the top-down shooters that I've played, like my old Survivor Squad video. This is much more fun, even now, and much more unique than Survivor Squad. I don't really know how that was perfect defense. Yeah. Good job out there. You gained a level up, and now you have access to the character screen, which allows you to review and improve your character. Each level up gives you a stat point to upgrade one of your character's stats. There are 4 stats. Unfortunately, Ackerman is scammed: speed, constitution, accuracy, and mechanics. Oh, scam. Not scammed. I see your little joke you tried to do there. The area at the bottom of the screen displays the useful tips. However, the mouse over the various elements of the character screen to learn That's hover. God damn it. I cannot read. I'm sorry. I very much suck at reading. Note, you can access the menu at any time by pressing escape. And here's the standard level up system that I would expect in something like this. But as I was saying, I know you can turn on iron mode, but it's off by default, so I would consider this a roguelike then, or something. Or I don't know what a roguelike is. It's more or less Iron Man off, from what I can understand. If you die, you have to start the game entirely over. If you have Iron Man on, however, you can restart the patrol or mission if you die. I generally do not like permadeath. I never play hardcore mode in anything. So, we got a speed of 5. And now we have Lazy Boy perk. Automatically reload and slight reload time reduction. I don't know. I guess that means since I have a speed of 5, I now have access to that perk, and I don't need to actually put it on. Where do I go to spend my monies? Okay, let's just save. Patrol. Let's go to at least level 2. Day 1, 11:32 Mars time. Boy, am I glad that you turned up here, Blake. You're military, right? Close enough. Private security. Figures. Still no contact with Icarus. If anyone else made it out, we would have heard by now. Even with the comms blackout. I'd say that makes you the luckiest person on the planet. Crash landing on a planet being attacked by homicidal monsters. Kelvin, that's one hell of a definition of luck. What's up with your comms? Kelvin hitches his shoulders and throws up his hands in an instantly recognizable gesture of ignorance. No one knows. Damage sustained in the attacks would seem most likely, but our chief engineer says that there's a lot of built-in redundancy. The only thing that works is a short-wave radio, and that's only good for 20 kilometers. It's turned the exchange of information to a game of Chinese whispers on a planetary scale. I passed through the Icarus comm section on my way out there. The damage to the equipment was severe, worse than any other part of the station. Maybe that would explain the blackout? Nope. I sincerely wish it did. Then at least something around here would make sense. Planet-side comms aren't relayed through the Icarus. Wait a minute. Did you get warning of the GovTerra? I sent one, yeah. Did it get there? Your guess is as good as mine. Most of the comms arrays were ruined. In any case, the Earth can only send ships out twice a year. Then they take 6 months to get here. We're on our own for the foreseeable future. How many people are living on this rock? Best part of 70,000 is the big migration pushes of the 2061-63. Then I hope that luck you talked about holds out. Kelvin's back straightens. If the hostility in his voice is anything to go by, you are pretty sure his features, obscured behind the visor, have configured themselves into a scowl. Surely, you don't think everyone will be infected? I will lose the planet? Company, let's shelve this for later. Kelvin's hostility quickly subsides in the face of danger, and he's all business again. Quick, take this. A few of our miners rigged a series of directional explosives into what they call a det pack. So long as you hold it properly, it will explode around you. Should come in useful if you're cornered. And here are some of the meds I put together. Blood coagulants. Goddammit. Analgesics. Adrenaline. High-yield proteins. All in injection form. Fuck. They will allow you to treat minor injuries in the field. In case I don't hold the det pack right. You're quite the wit. Be careful out there. Am I? Now access to your first 2 pieces of equipment, det packs and medkits. The boxes in the upper corner. You currently selected equipment and how many you're carrying. Proceed to cycle through the equipment. Right mouse button to use to equip. But now it looks like you picked up a few scratches from fighting yesterday. Use a medkit now to heal your wounds. Bravo, the det pack is a series of directional charges, which creates a close-range explosion around you. The explosion doesn't harm you, but damages and pushes enemy away. Very useful if you're cornered or need a breather. Keep the training dummy and eliminate it with det packs. It is below me. I had a bit of hiccup there, I'm sorry. Yeah. I doubt it'll be unlimited actually in the thing, so I was just doing that. You can purchase jetpacks and medkits from Deadstone's shop, which will open for business after this patrol. Yep. That was a waste. Okie dokie.
I'm reloaded.
I'm going to murder you in the face, Mr. Zamzam.
Good to go.
They're apparently coming. What is that? Power up? Oh, it's another detonator thing, because I have two now.
I'm reloaded.
There's a guy down there, I need to get you. I know I'm supposed to be using the det pack in this level, but why not? Why not try to do it the old-fashioned way?
Good to go.
Okie. Patrol is complete. Hooray, I didn't even have to use my det packs. And I didn't lose anything. Shop is now available. To access the shop, click the shop button at the top of the screen. In the shop, you can resupply your equipment and purchase weapons and ammo. For now, the only items you can buy are det packs, medkits, and bandoliers. Very familiar with det packs and medkits, bandoliers increase with the amount of ammo and equipment you can carry. New weapons will become available later as they are found by scouting teams. Tip, it's also often a good idea to keep some credits in reserve. Let us save. Medkits and stuff. Yeah, I think that's a good place to end it. This game is pretty neat, to say the least, especially for a new developer. I will link to the Greenlight and the Desura pages. You can purchase this right now on sale for 50% off on Desura. And if you really like the game, you can try getting it on Steam, because he's trying to go for Greenlight as well. I encourage you to upvote it. But I'll see you guys in the next video. Neo Tanner out.